Assalamu alaikum. Today, on Note on Academy, we discuss the quiet architecture of choice. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah.
All right, let's get right into it. We spend so much of our lives looking for those big moments, right? The big signs, the grand opportunities we think will change everything. But what if the most important opportunities aren't loud at all? What if they're quiet, hidden, almost, in the middle of our everyday routines? That's the idea we're exploring today. That the most crucial moments of our lives often just slip by, totally unnoticed. And the thing is, they're fleeting. Once they're gone, that specific chance, that specific test, it never comes back.
And you can see the contrast so clearly here. On one side, you have what the world screams at us to chase: the promotions, the big public breakthroughs, the applause. We can call those the loud opportunities. But then look at the other side. A simple moment to be honest when it would be so much easier to lie. A split second to choose patience when you're about to lose it. A chance to help someone when you're busy and it's totally inconvenient. These are the quiet opportunities. These are the small, divinely sent tests that are really truly defining who we are.
This is where it all happens. It's not in the big speech or the major event. It's in that Chinese space, that little pause between what's easy and what's right, between convenience and your conscience. In those silent internal moments, that's where our eternal future, our akhirah, is being built, one quiet choice at a time.
So let's break down the scene of a true spiritual test. What does it look like? First, and this is probably the most important part, there's no audience. Nobody's there to clap for you if you do the right thing, and no one is there to shame you if you do the wrong thing. It's a moment completely stripped of social pressure.
Second, there's no immediate worldly payoff. There's no promise of money, no promotion on the table, no public praise waiting for you. The choice to do good has to be made purely for its own sake, without any visible, tangible benefit on the other side.
And that leads us to the final and most profound element of this moment. It is just you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the only witness. In that incredible solitude, the choice becomes purely about your relationship with your Creator. That right there, that's the ultimate test of your sincerity.
So let's give this a name. Let's call it the small moment. Now, it's so important to understand that this isn't just a passing thing that doesn't matter. No, it's a crossroad, a definitive one. And the path you take in that small moment, it doesn't just vanish. It solidifies. It becomes either a permanent deed that benefits you forever or a permanent regret that you have to carry. There are no do-overs for that specific moment.
Let's use an example to make this really concrete. Think about the story of a man who found himself with money that, honestly, nobody would have ever noticed was missing. It was the perfect setup, a quiet opportunity to gain something for himself with, really, zero worldly consequences. So what did he do? He returned it. And get this, there was no thank you from the owner, because the owner didn't even know it was gone. There was no recognition from his friends or family. There was nothing. Nothing except the quiet internal knowledge that a test was presented and it was answered correctly, purely for Allah. And here is the profound outcome. That one small, unseen good deed, it didn't just end there. It created ripples. It traveled forward with him through his life. Years later, doors started opening for him, blessings came in ways he could never have planned for. Some of those rewards came in this world, but the principle is that others, perhaps the even greater ones, are waiting for him after death. The point is, both paths of blessing started in that one small moment that was answered correctly.
This idea completely reframes how we should think about our legacy. We tend to believe a legacy is about the big, dramatic things we do. But this suggests something so much deeper. A true legacy isn't built in a few dramatic flashes. It is woven, thread by thread, from the sum of our responses to all these small, quiet choices.
Your true character, the legacy you actually leave behind, is forged in these exact moments. How do you respond when it would be so easy to lie? How do you respond when you're completely exhausted and have no patience left? And maybe most importantly, how do you respond when you are absolutely 100% certain that no one else is watching? Every right answer builds something real, something permanent.
So now we have to turn this question back on ourselves. This isn't just some nice theory. It's our reality, every single day. I want you to just pause for a second, right now, and really think about this. How many of these quiet opportunities, these small crossroads, passed through your life just today? And how many of them did you even recognize for what they were?
And this is the main takeaway, the one thing to hold on to. We have to completely rewire how we see the word opportunity.
The greatest opportunities that Allah places in our path, they will not show up looking like worldly success. They won't look like a promotion or a prize or a round of applause. They will look like simple, ordinary choices. That is their disguise.
So what's the plan? Well, it actually gives us a very clear formula for what the greatest success really is. It's a three-step process. Step 1, you have to develop the spiritual awareness to see the choice that's hidden in the present moment. Step 2, in that moment, you have to consciously choose for the sake of Allah and Allah alone. And step 3, you repeat. You do it over and over and over again until choosing Him is the only thing that matters.
Presented and created by Neuron Studio.